viewpoints, how it feels that is there really feel like an equal much as exchange of support between the fans and bodybuilders?
Well, you talking?
Well,
you go ahead.
we go with
ladies first. Yeah.
Ladies first.
I just wanted to let you guys know that me personally, I really appreciate all of you guys because it's not easy being in this sport at certain divisions, especially when you start getting up into the women's physique and women's bodybuilding. It's very hard. You got to deal with a lot of outside things, and you guys are so supportive, and you guys are so encouraging. Me personally, I think you guys rock. I mean, I got into it. I've always wanted to do it, but I got into it because I always wanted to do it. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I probably won't be on here too long because I have to go to work, unfortunately, for a couple of hours. But yeah, but that was my thing to you guys is how much I really appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, we got a couple guests here. My man, the Merlin himself. Jeremy, the art of female bodybuilding. He is here.
The Merlin.
Merlin, welcome to the center. And also, we have another lovely lady because you know what, this is gonna be. We always want to have some ladies on here. Too much testosterone, a little bit more estrogen. We had also another lovely lady, my girlfriend, the lovely Miss Nicole Strauss, OCB Pro.
Hey.
OCB Pro. How's it going?
I had to run downstairs and get my glasses. I can't see. Without my glasses, everything just looks blurry. So,
you're like Thelma from Thelma from
Scooby Doo.
Like say, my glasses.
Hey.
Is my kid?
So anyway, back to the subject.
Let's
like
play.
anyone, like
I remember when we
I remember when we did our conversation last Monday. How Jeremy talked about when he was.
Kid, I named him Kid and Play.
Cool.
What?
So if you're old like me, you know Kid and Play is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. I can't. I can't hear you, George.
Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello?
You can't be. Yeah, I can.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
Beverly, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear George.
There must be something wrong. Just go in and go out.
Alex,
just go and go
Dave.
out. See, yeah. Tell her to go in. If she can hear y'all, tell her to go in and go out. Maybe that's the
He
problem.
said go in and go. He
Listen,
said go out and come back in.
No words to come out. I can't.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna leave
go
and
in and
I'm
go
gonna
out.
come back.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
go
that's
in and come back in. Go out and come back in.
Okay, but like Alex, he wouldn't remember Kid and Play because he was still, wasn't even barely a twinkle in his daddy's eye when
Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
I give it to Josh, Josh is black, so you gotta go Kid and Play. So, but anyway, I remember doing a conversation last Monday how Jeremy talked about Debbie Brumell and how she approached him every time he comes to the show, sees him, give him a hug. And that's an experience that I think everybody has, depending on the person, how they approach them. Like, generally caring about the fans. Jeremy?
Hello? Jeremy?
Me. Sorry.
Yeah, you.
Okay. Yeah. What is it you wanted?
We're talking about
I'm going to have to jump out real quick because I'm having a problem real quick.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just that someone that I met at just going to shows was Debbie Bramwell. She's always a sweetheart. She always was there with a big smile. And then times that I met her, it's like a junior national. She was trying to do check-ins for her coach. And she was like, hey, can you help me with that? So I was like, sure. So I was able to get some photographs that she could then see her coach via camera, but then also times when we met at the Arnold Classic. So yeah, I mean, she was someone who's always very nice, and then others as well. So it was good to see because first time that I ever went to a bodybuilding show was the Arnold Classic, I think in 2007, and I had struck up a conversation with a women bodybuilder in Chicago named Julie. And she said, well, are you going to go to the Arnold Classic? And I was like, I had never, ever considered that before in my life. So I was like, all right, first time ever doing it. I said, I'll meet you there. So packed up my car, got myself I sat there, situated, driving there, and then met up with her, and she was wonderful. You got to meet her outside the convention center. We went in. This was when they had amateur bodybuilding at the Arnold at this time. So was able to meet up with her. And then at that same show, I met an idol of mine, Steve Winterstrom, who was at one time, he was the official IFBB women's historian and long time coverer of women's bodybuilding. He was there like the very first shows ever, covering those for a magazine. So he's like literally been there right from the beginning. And he is just a wonderful guy to talk to.
Stop.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, depends on who they are and depends on what shows you go to. But yeah, they're very receptive. Other ones I would say, I don't remember what his name was the last conversation. He called them antisocial. I don't think that's necessarily the right term. I think guarded would be better. Because if they've never met you before and you come up to them and show, you may be a nice person, but at the same time, you might be one of these jerks who sent them a dick pic 2 days ago. So they simply don't know you from Adam. So you first, I think for a lot of them that don't know you, you have to pass their test. You have to prove yourself. I mean, they won't do so because, again, all the crap. I can only imagine, Nicole and Beverly, I can only imagine what your inbox looks like on a daily basis.
Yeah, I've had to cut, really delete some people.
I've kind of. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was having problems with the sound before.
Yeah, mine was.
I haven't gotten
turn it off. Yeah.
Whenever I get a D pic, I just block it.
Yeah.
And thank goodness I haven't gotten any of those in a while. Like I've been getting like a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah.
Mostly just getting props and just telling me, keep up the hard work. You inspire me. So I'm happy that's the crowd I'm attracting right now. Because at first it was bad. It was.
Yeah, I think
you sent me that pic. Is that supposed to turn me on?
Exactly.
I don't understand what that's supposed to do.
Yeah, and I think too the more people you have,
that tells me.
Exactly. Yep. And the more people you have, I think some of the other girls, if you got like a ton of followers, they probably get them a little bit more. I don't have a lot of followers, so yeah, try to limit that.
I kind of disagree with you on when you say you got to prove themselves. Somebody have to prove themselves to them. It's like when you say that, it's like you want to seek a validation, and all you're just doing is saying hi.
Oh well, no, I think what he probably was meaning was, think about it. If you walk up to, the way the world is now, if you walk up to a complete stranger, the way the world is now, you have to be careful. You don't know. I've had people, especially guys, walk up to me and say some pretty crazy stuff, and it's like, that's crazy what you're saying. So I think what he said when he said guarded is more of what he meant. You do have to be guarded. I think to nowadays you'll be guarded no matter where you are and what you're in, because the world is crazy right now.
Yeah, but
that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant, because it's just like you said, Bever. It's like if someone comes up to you that you flat out have never met, and I'm talking coming up to somebody live at a show. I'm not necessarily talking about online. Even there, I think it would apply, but specifically in the context of going up at a live show, that's what I've seen too, is that it's like they'll say, if they don't know you, they will be hesitant.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
And that
I'm not going to lie, but I just feel I gotta. I don't know, like it's very complex,
It's about the approach. I think it's the approach. If you walk up and say, "Hey, my name is so and so. I really admire what you do," and that's fine. But I think if somebody comes up to you and then they start the conversation gets off on the left exit, it's kind of like or they're trying to touch body parts while they're talking to you, then that could be. And then not only that, like I'm married, my husband will be standing there. If you come up and starts talking crazy, you may have a whole nother episode going. So
yeah, because her husband's a Marine, ex-Marine, and ex-cop. So
yeah, you don't want him.
Like,
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that it's good that we recognize who you are. Also respect, your public space, but also at the same time, we want you to respect us as fans because sometimes we get that push off. Like Jeremy talked about that was BC Royce who was here the other day when we talked about his experience, and his experience is not the same as my experience. Like I remember when I went to the first time I went to my first Bible show was at Savannah. That was in 2022, and one person I was talking a good bit on social media online was with Donna Salib. Donna saw me. We hugged, we laughed, we talked for a good bit, and we enjoyed the conversation. There was one person that was there that as often I say, name I do not speak. We barely even say words to each other until until that afternoon we're taking pictures. They said, "Oh, you want to take pictures?" I didn't ask you, but if you want to jump in the picture, that's cool. I had more fun talking and hanging with Donna than even when she was there. Again, she had a progressive physique. I think she was very impressive, but she's just that sense of her attitude. It's just I remember people who I know who I've interviewed tell me that she just has a stank ass attitude. I mean, there's one woman I know told me that she had a client competing at a show, and she was competing that same show, and her parents were there, hooting and applauding, and she's there yelling, and then she got in her mother's face. She was tempted to jump off that stage and whoop that woman's ass, but she didn't. She kept composed.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing is, I think a mutual respect is important because we want you to respect us as we want you to respect you. So what we're gonna do is this. There was an interview, shout out to my man KL the Wanderer. It was a repeat of an interview I did a while back, and it was with Christina Wilson, aka Tina Titan. And I'm going to share this interview where he did a little, kind of a commentary of what we're talking about, and it's a good point where the discussion relationship between fans and between bodybuilders. So we'll pull that real quick. And that's what as we
Thank you, Jondo.
As we smoke, we said hard work. When you ladies rock hard, we're rock hard. So that's the
facts.
Yeah,
facts.
Because that's what we talked about earlier. That this is the thing about women in the bodybuilding world. You are often a little bit more sexualized than outside of the mainstream because the fact is, it's something that's not typically as most people think feminine. Most people like I said, I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. Our women a little bit more rounded, a little more shapely. We have a little thing women. I mean, I got to see women in the bodybuilding world. A couple ladies who I've become friends with. She lives in Florida. Amanda Schnooks. We're really good friends. We've been friends on social media. I did an interview with Amanda. A lady by the name Marianne Wachowski. She reached out to me. She thought I was going to do my regular Muscle Talk Mondays, but I told her that we'll do it next week. And we guys who follow you ladies. And we admire you. We do, like I said, we have the weird guys out there who can't be seen. The guys who get silent when you gaze on stage. And you realize something. When you ladies on stage, you dehydrate, you're tired, you're hungry.
We're not the nicest, I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you for saying that.
I know, like you did New York. I later become friend with Andrea Sowers. She has show too. Shout out to Andrea. Yeah, she's been on here a couple of times. Good lady. Her birthday was just this past weekend. I shout out to her. And there's a lot to this sport that people need to understand. And I think it's just that you gotta respect your commitment and passion for it.
Well, I think also in this day and age of social media, women also shine their bodies a lot. And I can't just blame the men aspect of it because women are at fault too because they want to sell their bodies. Now, that's totally up to them. I'm not judging them. That's just not something I do. If you look at my social media page, you're not going to see any of that. Did I take photo shoots? Yeah. But I think that most of the comments that I can be respectful just because of how I portray myself and how I do engage with the public. I know that not every woman's going to get that, and that's totally fine. But I also shut it down, and I honestly can say, majority of the fans. One of the people who they use that word schmo in the business. That's considered a schmo. He's one of my close friends, and we just went to the Olympia together. Like we hang out. He's never been inappropriate with me. So I see where the bad connotation can come forth.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, that always struck with me with the close friends. You know, she got a friend that's a schmo. And I'm not trying to get at her, but it's so interesting. It just caught even George saying, many times me and him, we get into arguments about them being your friend and, but you desiring them. That was, and with her, she has this friend, that like smokes, that he's a schmo and he happens to like female body. How do you know that he doesn't like you? He just talk to you. That was my thing, on it. And and it always in the back of my head to just like think about that. So, I don't know. I just don't got nothing else to do, but I just wanted to go back and just play this again and for some reason, but that always caught my attention when she says it, and it's not my business. I mean, if they friends, they're friends. It's nothing to get at her or anything, criticize her, or anything like that. But is he really your friend? That's the thing, you know.
So it goes back to, are we like, some of you guys who do content and also reach out as ways on social media, do y'all consider them friends? Or or you just being a fan that might be a little bit, assessed.
I would say for me, the reason why I say it, I would say friendly. I even outside this, I'm just friendly with females. I'm not friends with them in a sense. Even with male friends, I just got a little male friends, like a little bit of male friends for me. There were times where I probably did look at it as friends, but then I look back and it's like, no, I probably did like the person, but I don't really. If I consider somebody my friend that's a female, maybe they old enough to be my mother. I'm being real about it because I've had, you know, women that were like old enough to be my mother as friends. I was friends with a woman that passed away not too long ago, and we would talk on certain things, even if she couldn't really relate to what I was saying on certain things. But if I'm attracted to somebody, for me, I don't really consider them as a friend. I'm friendly with people. That's with women. That's just me.
But I think that goes across, and because there's guys that I work with or used to work with that I didn't know that they say, oh Lord, if you weren't married or if you weren't there, I would have asked you out. I think that's just something that goes across even beyond bodybuilding, if because men, y'all are just designed different. I mean, you see a woman you're attracted to, that it is what it is. That's the anatomy of apples and oranges. I mean, but as far as, I mean, I consider George a real good friend because I even ask his opinion about things and we talk on the phone about stuff. I say, hey, you got time to talk? So because I know, to be honest with you, y'all have a lot more knowledge than some of us competitors about what's going on in bodybuilding. So it's good to learn certain things from you guys because you have such an in-depth knowledge about it. So yeah, I would consider a person my friend. Now, as far as the attraction part, that goes on jobs, walking in the grocery store, that's anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you got a good point. I mean, but in terms of this, I just I just see sometimes I don't know what to call it, even for myself. Like because I'm attracted to to be me being friends with somebody, and I'm attracted to them. Like I got like pictures of them. I got magazine pictures of them, and saying that I'm friends with them. I don't think it's genuine.
Well, I
You
mean,
probably
yeah,
could be friendly. What I'm
yeah.
saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Y'all could talk or whatever, but you know, I don't really experience that. I think me and George we're very different in that department. I'm just being real about it because I've had, I'm a different kind of fan. I'm more like a muscle worshiper, and I'm being real about it.
Okay.
Like,
Well, David, we get your
that's it.
Get from you, David. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think since I started the forum and even prior to that, I think that genuinely became friends with some of the ladies in the sense because I guess I've been following the sport for so long, and what Beverly said, I kind of have a little crazy encyclopedic knowledge of the sport, I guess. So I think I do provide some value there, and I think I've been watching bodybuilding so long too, maybe kind of an aesthetic eye type of thing, like a third opinion beyond your coach kind of thing as well. So
Yes.
And I've even sent song suggestions to some of the ladies that I'm really familiar with or comfortable with or whatever. So, and then getting to see them in person at shows, it's that's an awesome experience, I think. And so I love it when the ladies give good feedback on especially in person at the shows and stuff, get good feedback on my interviews and shit like that, so
Josh, what's your thoughts?
Well, something similar to what Dave said. Ever since I started Women's Bodybuilding Empire, man, I've been getting a number of positive feedback from competitors and saying thank you for giving us the recognition and we appreciate what you're doing and all that good stuff. And just this past Friday, I had a very good conversation with a women's physique competitor because she has a son. I have a son. We were talking about working out and going to the gym, and because we have stuff in common that in that area. I'm a gym goer too. Hey, what kind of workouts you do? I do arms and legs workout and all that good stuff. It's just how you approach yourself. Not just going up to them, just being inappropriate and just send them inappropriate stuff. Can't be doing that. That's a big no-no in my book.
Alex?
Well, from my experience, I always keep. I know that my mother has always told me not everybody's nice, and I wouldn't say I keep it short and simple. I just be respectful. I would say acquaintances, to say the least. I say acquaintance. It truly depends on the person in the end. For the most part, I play short and simple and friendly. I, understand where they're coming from, and I just respect it, and I appreciate just think before you act. Just just don't be personal. That's all.
Jeremy?
Yeah, another thing you got to consider is something that Tina said. If you do go to a show and they do seem to appear rude or something like that, number one, are they in the show? Because if they're in the show, they're competing that day, it's just like Tina said, they have been crash dieting for 3 months. They are tired, they are hungry, they are hot. They are not at all feeling even though they look great, they're not feeling great. So if they're curt with you or short with you, you got to take that into consideration too. If they're not in the show, if they're in off season or something like that, okay, maybe different personality there. But if they're actually in the show, and if they are short with you, I was like, don't take that personal, because if you realize just what they've been going through.
But what if somebody don't know about that? Don't really have a knowledge of that. That gotta be considered also too. Because there's people that don't know about these women, the stuff that they deal with. You would have to talk with them. So it's a different realm, because the first show that I went to was the New York Pro. And, I remember I approached somebody, I don't want to say their name, and I've interviewed them too. And I remember I asked them, I just was trying to grab their attention because they was talking to some people too. And so they looked at me and they was like, do I know you? And so I said, and so I told them, I was like, I'm the guy that interviewed you weeks before. and then she she recognized me. But in the back of my mind, I was like, did I have to really? Do I have to know you to approach you? So I didn't understand it till George was telling me, that they had a long day, and they on stage and whatever, and I had to probably understand that. But if somebody don't know, they don't know, you know. So
Okay, we have a comment here. Shot to our brother here. Sean Miller says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sean." Also, we got a man Jeff coming through. Says Jeff says, "Hey all."
Hey, yeah.
Also, we got here from Last Man Standing 5. He says this question to David and Alex, since they have been at to numerous IB Pro shows. Have you encountered rude interactions with athletes?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I have a few times, and I did, like Jeremy said, I don't know if I had to necessarily chalk it up to them feeling like shit too. They're not necessarily feeling that good, and so give them some grace, I think, in that regard too. But yeah, I've definitely encountered a few rude ones, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Same with
Alex.
you, Alex?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I think too, as far as memories. For them, to what you guys said, I've been learning how to approach, when the time is right. If it's not a good time, I'm more of a patient person. There's always next time. I mean, if they're not good, it's okay to talk to someone who's not competing. Unless, well, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
we have
it's a lot, especially in competition day. Rule of thumb, sometimes we don't even want to talk to our families. It's like, get away from me. I don't want to.
I want to talk to your
It's like
mama.
my husband. My
Here we
husband will
go.
tell you he'll go. The closer I get to a show, he's like, man, I might need to go sleep out in the shop because you. But and it's not on purpose or anything. I try to be friendly to everybody I see because I know I don't want people being mean to me. But you also have to consider, y'all, everybody has different personalities. There are some people out there, they're just nasty no matter what they're in. That's just their personality. And there's some people they don't mean to be that way. They may be going through something at that time. I got a lot of friends, they went through divorces and did shows, or they had a death in the family and still did a show. So you have to consider all of that too.
Mhm. I just
Yeah.
one lady a while back, Tamika Tucker. She just did the Better Body battle. The battle of the bodies just past weekend. Her father just passed away, I think, earlier this week. Beautiful physique, beautiful lady. I want to say condolences to her, and that's tough to still get on the stage after burying the first man you truly love. That's your father, and still have a committed to his sport. We have here shot-on man Raheem Hamilton says this again. Shot Raheem says, "If I meet and took a picture with Michael Jordan, I can't call him my friend, and he can't say the same thing to me. All MJ will say, see me as a fan. That's all." Yeah, the thing is, but many people, as you know, even that world will become like. Remember the movie with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes?
Yes.
Mhm.
I forget the name of it. You remember the name of it? Where
Wasn't it the fan?
the
Yeah,
fan,
I
yeah,
think
the
it is
fan,
called the
the
yeah,
fan.
fan, the
Yeah.
fan, the
I
fan.
never
And
seen that.
Rich Knight was a baseball player. When he was going through stuff, and Robert De Niro was a big fan, and then he got close to him, they became friendly, and then one point in the movie, he was went just just went crazy, and he shot some people, and he got killed in the end of the movie. And the thing is that there are those guys who do take it to that level. That I know I talk to ladies that sometimes they have to deal with stalkers. Guys being weird, and also like you, Bev and Nicole mentioned, the guys sending the D pics. That's why I'm doing because that's why I learned from my interviews with ladies. Some guys would send them dick pics. Say, oh my god, they do that? I mean, I understand if you were in like something like the adult community, if you're a porn star,
Yeah,
stripper like
there's
that, but but then you got to think about it. You're a bunch of men and women, and again, I'm not into guys like that. Like I said again, man, I leave the '80s, but I'm down with the ladies, you know. And I think I've known like my man Big Keith. I was hoping to have him on, but I know he's busy. Shout out to my brother Big Keith, his wife Tina. Um, he talked about the guys on their end also get it because the fact is because they're guys that like guys, and you don't have to be a guy who's gay or really bisexual, you just like the guys because they're great body. That's why they get a lot of attention. Shout out to my man here, DJ. He says Jeff says if it's hard for me to meet fans and FPB bodybuilders. I know. And also he says because I have a great podcast and I want people to support me like others are doing. Okay, I'll put you, brother. Also, shout out to my man here. Last man says, "Sorry, Jeremy, but I don't think competing in a show is excuse for athletes to be rude to anyone that comes up to them." Well, the thing is, like just like Bev said, just like Russell said, they are on a point where sometimes there's like the quote from a man, Patrick Swayze from Roadhouse. There's a time to be nice and time not to be nice, and sometimes at that time they're not nice. Some do have good manners, but others may not. It's all depending. You just sometimes you have to read the room, read the person.
I mean, I could consider, I could be considerate of it, for myself. I'm not always friendly with people, So, I mean, I remember somebody had said this, and and I had to think about that too. That when you see certain things, it's kind of a reflection of you, And I can honestly say there've been moments where I haven't been always in a good space with people all the time. So I think when you do see that, it kind of bothers you because you see it in yourself. So
And a lot of times, some people compete, and a lot of them aren't in a good space. I mean, there might be something going on. They just went ahead and did the show. A lot of people, it's just like everyday people have mental health issues. I mean, you have to. We're human. People are humans. Everybody's going through something, especially this day and age. Everybody's going through something. So, yeah, be kind and nice, but you also have to be considerate that there are days that everybody's not going to be kind and nice. So you just kind of move on with life.
Right.
yeah,
It's not like
Correct.
it's not like I haven't had negative experiences. I have. I mean, I've encountered this. I've encountered rude people. There was a lady at a local show and up in Chicago. And I said, "Hey, is there any way I could get a picture?" And she gave me kind of the side eye and said, "No, thank you. I'm trying to keep this under wraps for my competition and such. I don't want to give away what I'm bringing to the show." And it's like, that sounds like a good argument. But then it's like I said, that's fine. But turn around 60 seconds later, she's getting pictures with other people.
Mm.
So,
Oh wow.
so what was going on there
That's
was,
dirty.
yeah, I don't mind getting pictures. I just don't want one with you.
Yeah.
So I've had, it's not like I haven't had negative experiences, but I've learned in my life, you're never going to control people.
Yes.
You absolutely cannot. And you will encounter all kinds.
Yep.
If this what I've learned is that if you're not a bodybuilder yourself, if you're skinny or you're overweight or sit like that, and you're not into the bodybuilding lifestyle yourself, you have to expect the gamut of reaction when it goes to a show. You may come across a Debbie Bramwell, who's one of the nicest people in the world. You also might come across this lady I was just talking about. So you have
competitors aren't nice to each other. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been backstage, and some of them women can be barracudas, and then I've met people that we're good friends to this day. So it is. I mean, you got to think about it. We get competitors act like that with each other. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, it is competition, so
Yep, exactly.
Well, when Nicole's back, and I hope she
Yeah, I
has
can
something she
hear.
likes to share. Is you
Yeah,
can hear?
I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear anything. I saw Miles moving, but I couldn't hear anything. I was like, am I going crazy?
Mine was acting up like that. too, yeah.
So what were you guys talking about? What did I miss?
But like
their
Nicole,
pursuit and how the approach and how they would feel, all that, how they're rude or not.
Yeah,
It's
because I know you've been to shows, you've been to the Olympia, you've been around some competitors, and we also talked about how you've been around competitors that wasn't as nice as you thought they would be, and you've been around ones that just generally like one person I always like to bring up, and I can't help it because I'm a fan. I hear
She
so
is
much
amazing.
wonderful things about her, and she's
Yes.
so beautiful. That is Andrea Shaw.
She is a pro on every level. As far as she's a good representation of the sport.
Her look,
Yeah.
her
Better
look,
believe
the way
it.
she looks, she's beautiful. and that's her personality. That's how
Yes.
she just doesn't look good. Like she's beautiful on the inside and out. Like she'll
Yeah.
like. I mean, I saw last time I went to Olympia. I saw her, and she was just sitting down. She had like her bonnet on, like she was getting ready to go on stage or whatever. She was sitting in the audience, and I looked at her, I smiled, and I waved, and she waved back. You think me and her were friends for like years? That's how cool she is.
Yeah.
She's really
Yeah,
cool.
she is really
But
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
but some of them
Hmm.
like, I mean, I dead ass like stopped following like people when I met them at Olympia because some of them were just weird. I don't care. I'm dropping names. This is what we're doing. I stopped following Dana Lynn Bailey because she was kind of funky when I met her. I stopped following Eurishna. Eurishna, I don't know if you know. She was like the first wellness.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
she's
she's
the
made a
one because I
comeback.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I interviewed Lee Robert, Amelia. She was because Amelia's from Bulgaria, and she told me a
Mhm.
story where we did an interview just right after she got a pro card at
Mhm.
the Muscle Marine Muscle Fest about a couple years ago, and she talked about how she got to meet Yurisha, and they were working out together, and they were doing Bulgarian
Mhm.
split squats. It was a Bulgarian doing split squats with a Puerto Rican, and it was just amazing for her, But again, I
Mhm.
think it's everybody's different interaction with somebody, especially who they
Mhm.
are, and just
You know
about
what I think it was with Eurishna? I'll tell you what I think it was. Because she was supposed to win that Olympia, that first wellness. Remember, she was like they were just because it was like the first time wellness was in Olympia. This was back in 20, I think it was 2021. Yeah, yeah, it was 2021. She was like the face. She was supposed to win, but she didn't. She came in fourth. I think she was so she was walking around like the expo with like just like this mean look on her face. But you guys still got to listen. If you can win like a champ, you gotta lose like a champ. You gotta lose gracefully. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have good
Hmm.
sportsmanship. It doesn't matter how you place. You really have to have good sportsmanship because the fact that
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Because the fact that you
I
made it to Olympia, to me, that's a win in
Yeah.
itself. So you
yeah
have to be.
I
You never
think
know.
when
You gotta be nice to everybody. You can't be mean because you didn't win. So.
Yeah, I think particularly a former champion should use that same advice because she's going around dismaying about the current champion because of the fact that she lost. You took a loss. It's
Hmm.
I know it hurts, but here's the thing is, like Rocky Balboa says, it's not how hard you think you hit, how hard you can hit the hits and keep
Hmm.
moving forward. Just
Hmm.
come back in better shape, make the
Hmm.
adjustments, do good. But you don't need to go badmouth somebody else because you took a loss. And again, is you can't go in here thinking, okay, I got this. But then you got to think about it. There's somebody who might be better than you, and
That's
and
true.
then you'd always come back. Here, shut down man. Jeff, he says this. He says, um, "I'm nervous about going because they are super busy, and I want to say hi. You look beautiful. Well, you
Uh,
can go. You can
yeah,
say hi. You look
try to
beautiful. You got to
be
be careful how you say it.
try to be careful with your words. Be careful what you think before you say. You have to think your words carefully if you want to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah, so my mom always told me choose your words carefully. Shout out to my man Raheem. He says this. He says when other athletes are game ready and fans come up to them not in a good mood, they know how to turn it off, or fans will while getting game ready. Well, that's not all the time. I've seen some stuff where some
Oh
guys can
yeah,
get
for
Mm,
real.
yeah, some guys can get like, like,
mm, yeah, exactly.
but not all the time. There's some guys who do get in their feelings. It's just anybody who you go with something and you go in a good spirits, but then something happens. Either you have that enough, strength to say, you know what, it happens. Let me still be the same pleasant person as I was when I came to the situation. Or some people just let it get the best of them because sometimes it's just as humans, we tend to switch. We will be kind and nice, and then sometimes we can be downright, dirty. Shout out to my man here. He says this. He says the term fan is from fanatic. Yes, appreciate that. Also, shout out to DJ. Says KL and David. What advice would you give a fan of female bodybuilders that is going to his first show? So we start off with David, who's been
Ooh.
quite a few shows. Give your advice.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody?
Yeah. I mean, I think in terms of approaching the bodybuilders, just be, respectful and like, I think it was Jeremy mentioned about, just introducing yourself and the fact that you're a fan of female bodybuilding, been following them a long time, just be, yeah, just, try your best to be really respectful and yeah. And I think that for the most part, the ladies are nice to the fans. But yeah, there, like we said, there are some rude folks for sure. And just, I don't know, take that with a grain of salt that, they might be that way with everybody, or they might just be temporarily hangry and just
Hangry, yeah.
I
yeah,
agree. I would have done the same. I would give the same advice too. Since I went to a couple shows myself, I will give the same advice as well. I agree with you, David.
One thing I wanted to mention too that the ladies don't get, they don't get a lot of sleep. So I would be pissed off if I wasn't getting a lot of sleep too. So go ahead. Sorry about that.
You have anything?
No, I don't really have too much advice. I mean, I mean, I've approached a couple of bodybuilders. Sometimes they were ones that they weren't competing. I remember I was sitting next to a bodybuilder. I just started talking, and we was just conversating a bit. But yeah, I mean, you don't turn them off. You know, I would say, you know, that's the best advice I could give. You know, just I mean, it's nothing wrong with telling them they're beautiful, but I mean, I'm sure they get that all the time. Like, you know, I'm sure they get that all the time. But I mean, just be normal. That's it. That's all I can say. You know, that's all I can tell you. You know.
If I can chime in too, there's something that when I'm going to a show, something that I learned is that the first person you go to may be one of the ones who treats you like an asshole.
Yeah.
The very first person that you meet may be one of these people. Please don't be discouraged. Because I know I've met a guy who was basically mistreated by people at his first ever bodybuilding show, and he got all despondent, and it's like I wouldn't be surprised if the guy never went back. So you also, like I said, you have to expect the gamut of reaction. So if the first one you meet happens to be the one that treats you like shit, please don't get discouraged.
No,
maybe it is that just one person. Maybe, like people have been saying, something is going on in their life. If they're in the show, they're physically, I mean, they're at the worst right now. I mean, there are a lot of factors you got to take in. Because at this same show where this woman basically dissed me for the photograph, I ran into two other people as a bodybuilding couple that we had been talking about online. I met them for the first time. We chilled out and talked about bodybuilding for the next hour.
Wow.
Nice as anything. Won't hesitate to say hello and just be able to do that. So you have to expect the gamut of reaction every time you go to a show. So if you do go to a show and the first person you meet happens to be an asshole, please don't get despondent.
I know that, but
please don't.
Jeff is here.
Away from shows.
Go ahead.
Jeff is here. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you. Excuse me. So I would actually comment from Nicole and Beverly. Excuse me, the same question. And Nicole, let's say if I see you in Greensboro, North Carolina, and let's say if I say hi, Nicole, like, excuse me, I'm a huge FBB fan. I was like the hardcore on Instagram and saying like, it's okay if I would want to meet like some of these ladies because I know I'm single. And by the way, excuse me, I don't George loving me because you know I don't know. Excuse me, I don't. It's just me. Like my life is. It's just me. My life is saying, hey, mom and dad, I love these beautiful women, but what Jeremy just said is you need to be safe. You don't want to give them a big great hug. Like excuse me. Let's say if it's okay, I can say what's up or fist bump. You need to try to mind their personality. See, I don't know. Okay, you want to join me? I think I'm gonna go to Greensboro so I can see Nicole win Greensboro, North Carolina. I know, but before I'm so excited about this, I am just kind of like nervous. I'm just kind of saying, "Ooh, Jeff, watch your boundaries," because it's just gonna be what people actually do. This has happened to me on Discord and other things. People are saying that they are a guy, a girl, but they're really a girl. Jeremy, Jeremy, I do have a question for Jeremy about what he just said. About like personal boundaries, like Let's see if I see let's see Ashley Jones, for example. She's a New York Yankee fan like me. It is me. It's like if I find something in common besides bodybuilding that I can maybe just say, hey, you look beautiful. Why didn't you be on the cover of Muscle Fitness? Like I don't know.
Hey Josh. Hey Jeff. I got your girl.
Sorry, Josh. Sorry. I don't know, but it just let's say if I see somebody like her. Let's say if I see Nicole, or let's say if I see Kelly. Let's say if I see Kelly, who David interviewed. Like, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? Like, to be appropriate, because they're gonna be busy. Like, I'm just gonna be kind of lonely with the fans because I'm gonna be crying.
What can I say? What can I say?
You say,
Well,
I thought you said hi. It's nice to meet you.
I think,
We have an echo.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
yeah,
that
I
feedback.
think it's Josh.
Yeah.
Josh, I think you must get the YouTube on. Okay, yeah. Echo. So Nicole
Yeah.
and Jeremy, y'all, we want to ask you, what's y'all thoughts? And we go with Nicole first. He got her winning in North Carolina.
Oh. I didn't. I don't think I've ever been to North Carolina, but hi.
I'm here.
Yes.
If you say hello, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan, or to me, I appreciate stuff like that because you have no idea. I make the sacrifice. I mean, well, we all do, but when I tell you the sacrifice is real.
Yeah, and
My
never
life-
touch them.
Yeah, my
Never
life
touch them.
Yeah, you know, unless you're doing a photo, like how you do if you're doing a photo together, you want to give a hug. To me, that's
See,
friendly.
George,
That's very friendly.
I'm sorry, before we get to Beverly, somebody told me interesting. Somebody, of course, in Germany, if I was correct, there was a big show. If I was correct, there was a big show in Germany, and boy, there were pictures of beautiful ladies besides these two, and besides Joshua pictures. There was a picture like saying, "Hey, I really, really want to go to Germany. I really want to go to New York Pro." Its only problem is it is expensive. Okay, maybe it's just gonna maybe me and Kay we'll be broadcasting live together and seeing who would go on a date with me. Who will be my best friends? Who's gonna give me money so I can be interviewed? So I can interview Nicole and Beverly. I want to hear Beverly's reaction to this before I need to get going. But I want to hear Beverly's reaction to what I just said.
Okay, I agree. I appreciate people. Can you hear me? Hello?
I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Can y'all hear me?
Can you hear you?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
You can?
Yeah, I
Can
cannot
you
hear you, Beverly.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you. And,
Okay,
face it
I'll
with
go ahead
Josh.
and
Yeah.
I appreciate when people say, "Hey, you look great," because it is a lot of work. But also, you have to keep in mind when you do approach these ladies, you don't know if they're married, in relationships. You don't know who's sitting there watching. So I be real careful, be real respectful, but also be cautious of what you say to them. Because no, my husband's not the jealous type, but y'all, I know some girls that have some husbands that are crazy. And it just a man walking up to him saying stuff, they go berserk. So you gotta be for y'all's safety, be careful of that too.
Yeah, because I was talking with this lady. I'm hoping maybe you interview with her. We're talking about her husband. She's not a pro yet. She still competes. She is an amateur NPC, and she was talking about how her husband, he gets kind of jealous about what she's doing. He supports her, but the issue is that the fact that he feels that her being around a lot of guys. The thing is, many guys in the gym are there to work out. They're not looking for. They might already have a girlfriend at home. Might already have a wife or a sleepy leak on the side. They're not looking for anything else. And she's a mature woman, and they may be like looking at you as a mother figure or somebody. Hey, they respect your commitment and your passion for this sport. And the thing is, I think he needs to be comfortable with what she's doing. You can't bring in what happened in your past into this relationship because it hurts your relationship.
Exactly.
We have here, shout out to a man, Raheem Hamilton. He says this. Rule of thumb: when meeting any athlete or star, give them the space. Don't hug them first when meeting them by yourself. Be yourself and respectful. Shout out also here to Rolando G. He just came through. Says salute FEBs. Don't care about their fans. Okay. Also, shout out to my man Raheem. He says, why would you go to a bodybuilding show to holler? That's not cool. Just go to the show, enjoy the show, and don't get you into your feelings. Hey, brother, that's
right.
If he wants to go there and holler at a woman, and she is still a woman, if she don't got no man or no woman, if she's into it, if she just wants to be, if it doesn't come out of it just to gain a friend. But yes, that's his choice. That's That's his right. I'm gonna defend you, Jeff. Shout here to Last Man Standing. It says, choose your words carefully. You don't need to say they are hot or sexy. That comes off like creepy schmo vibes. Yeah, because some
Exactly.
ladies,
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
never.
yeah,
Please don't say those words. Never. Please. I never said those words.
yeah,
I never said those words.
yeah, yeah. Choose your words wisely. That's what my mother often tells me. So we got
I'm
a
gonna have
problem
to
here.
get off here, y'all. I'm
Yeah, me
going
too.
to tell everybody goodbye, but I again
Goodbye.
appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. I gotta get ready for work.
Yep, same here.
All
But
righty, yeah, good. Make that money. Don't make you. So, folks, we are. You see, wait a minute. Here goes Jeremy's back. I think he was having problems.
Mhm.
Also, I believe Nicole's having problems. Josh has been in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think Jeremy's. I think he dropped out. I think when it was Alex is back.
Yeah,
So
it keeps coming on and off. The audio keeps coming on and off. I have to keep saying every time.
yeah, we got here Raheem Hamilton. Come in, your boy. Come here and get your whooping.
My man.
Oh boy.
We got here Raheem
Hey,
Hamilton. Come on, boy. Come get your whooping.
and I do agree. I do agree with what you've been talking about. I agree about it.
No, I just need to know
I
why
can't
do I
hear.
need to? Can you
Oh
hear me?
no.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can
Kind of
you-
muffled.
No, I'm sorry. I'm on my headphones. I'm working out, so here with you. So, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a
Okay.
little. I think it's a little blur. It's a little
Are you
faded.
Okay.
putting
I'm
your
just,
You sound
put
muffled.
your put your
I'm just sending it
put your
out. Don't
YouTube
worry.
on
Just
mute? Put your YouTube on mute. Your YouTube, because I think his YouTube got to be on mute
Okay.
because sometimes what it is, you get an
Yeah,
echo
you get like
back.
a little echo. Yeah. Let me try
Yeah.
that. Let go in
So
and
can you
out.
hear me? Can you hear me right now?
yeah, I hear you a
Can
lot
you hear
better.
me?
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so let me give you game because it seems like you didn't understand what I was saying my last time. I never said that as a man you can't talk to a woman. I'm just talking out. Just bear with me. What I'm saying is when you go to a show and you're attracted to any of these women, just be yourself. It's just like outside you want to talk to a woman. Just be yourself. First of all, you don't introduce yourself and say, "Oh, I think you're beautiful. I think you're sexy." That's not the first thing you do. Just be yourself. Pretend that you're talking to another person, even though that's a woman. That's what I'm saying. Go to the show, support the athletes. Okay. If by chance they say, "Hey, let's hang out after the show, let's chill and talk and everything," then by all means. Or if they give you the Instagram, and you can chat later, by all means. But don't go there like you're hungry and choose to stay. Nah, that's not how it works. That's not how we do. You gotta be respectful to the athletes and everything. And you gotta do like that. And what I was saying also about being an athlete and what I was saying about the bodybuilding as trying to they need media training because yeah, you're right. Sometimes they tired, they gotta do the shows and everything, but you're gonna have your fans come up to you. So either you say to yourself, I'm not going out to that front door because the fans are out there, I don't want to bother. So after the show, what I'm gonna do is I go on stage, go to my hotel, rest up, relax and eat. And then when I'm, focused and everything, then I talk to the fans. So it's just you gotta know where not to go. So if you know you want to talk to the fans and you in that, in your competition, don't go to the front door, don't go to the lobby, because you know the fans are out there. You know the bar. That's just, I'm just saying like that. Just giving my opinion. That's it.
Yeah. But like again, we understand that, but they should understand also that when we see you and you are, especially if you're a top popular competitor, we want to exchange. And we're going to respect your space. We want to exchange. Say how you doing. If we follow you on social media, if you follow us back and you recognize us, we want that same recognition. Again, we understand what you're going through, and some may not. But if but it's also it never hurts to be nice to people. But if you're not the person not to be nice, then his best to say, "Hey, I'm not in the mood. I'm just going through something right now," and just step aside.
But dude,
It
that's what
has
I
to be.
say. Well, sorry, that's what I say. This is where the bodybuilding athletes. I'm not just talking about females. I'm talking about the bodybuilder. Bodybuilder wants to be considered a sport, which it is. I'm not taking away from it, but what's the mainstream sport? Then I think that the organization has to teach the athletes on media training. Media training that basically tells them okay, if you have a bad attitude, or you in a bad mood, and you get reporters or you get fans come up to you, this is how you deal with them. This is how you say no comment. Like if you're in a bad mood, no comment. Or
Yeah, I agree.
they teach you ways on how not to look like you standoffish with the fans. So that's what I'm saying. So at least the fans will come back. Because if you are like standoffish and you think you think you the shit, then guess what's gonna happen? That sport is gonna lose a lot of fans because word
I'm
does travel. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say a certain name and you'll get it. Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn
He
Lynch.
was he wasn't very not till later after his career. He didn't like to do commentary after shows. He didn't want to do. He'll take a fine before he sat and talked to reporters. But he just do
Yeah, but
comment.
look where he at right now. See, when you do that, right? Here's the same thing with your athlete, especially NFL. When you start being standoffish, okay, Barry Bonds. The reason why Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame is not because of the quote unquote steroid. It's how he treated reporters, how he talked to them. When you start cursing, no, and not mind you, the baseball, the way you get to the Hall of Fame, the sports writers get you with. So if I'm Barry Bonds, I have to be nice to every sports writer because they the one who's going to put me into the Hall of Fame. Let's just say hypothetically, the female bodybuilders, things like that, where the fans elect the female to get to the Hall of Fame, and they've been assholes to all the fans. Guess what happened? The fans were like, we don't have to let you in. It could be just like the sports reporter with Barry Bonds. We be salty. So you got to be mindful because at the end of the day, you have to learn how to react to your fans, how they post them. Don't get me wrong. There's some fans who do misbehave and act inappropriate. I'm not taking away from that. But if it's just an average fan, you would just standoffish. So you shouldn't be coming on social media and complain about, oh, you got
Come on,
support
get
us.
dressed. We gotta go.
Why you know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. It's a lot of
Well,
stuff to me.
Well,
But yeah,
Nicole
okay.
just had to leave. Oh, we do appreciate Nicole being here. We do appreciate any ladies that come here. That I know it's hard to get you on because I know you're busy. You got things to do. You got lives. You got training out like that. But we do appreciate you took the time, both Nicole and Beverly. I reached out to some ladies. Some weren't ready. Some was on trip like that. But I do appreciate when these two come through. They are really, I would say, these
That's
ladies
right.
are really friends. They're really friends of mine. Here we got some comments here. We got here. This is from my man Rolando G. He says, I don't know. Female bodybuilders act like the regular women in the malls. Even if you see one, they might be standoffish. Yeah. Also, Rolando says, "Hey, Alex." He says, "Hey to you."
Well,
Also, Rolando says, "Hey, you all. Wish I could stay on. I'm at work right now. I want to come to elaborate
elaborate.
on what I said, George." Okay, I appreciate that. Also, this is from Ron says, "If I go to the show, I hope there are some nice, approachable ones. I still have to meet these fine WNBA ladies." Yeah, yeah, go ahead. And this is from Dolphs. He says this. He says, "Hi to everyone." And this is one more from my man Rolando G. Says, "Are female bodybuilder athletes more approachable than average, everyday, entitled average women?" That's my question.
Ooh.
Well, I would
It's no
say it's
different.
all well, it's all depending on the woman. That's not gonna say.
Yeah.
What you
Depends.
mean?
Well, just like if you go out and about, you go to maybe like you said to the mall. When's the last time I've been to the mall? Like maybe just to go get my nails done or something, or go to shopping, or you're just out and about. You out in the city, and you meet a girl. You see her, she's attractive, or she just something about her that draws you to her. So you want to say, "Hi, my name is George. I just saw you over here. I just want to," and so says, "Nah, I don't feel like talking. I don't, I got a man," or something like that, or some other shit. Okay, cool. We just go about our business, you know. But then you might meet somebody later on and say, "Hey, my name is George." You say, "Hey, how you doing?" You talk, you have a good conversation, and you might find something you might have in common. You might like the same things, or just you've been to the same places, and you just have you strike up a good conversation.
That's the art. That's the art of approaching. I mean, like talking to. You're gonna get rejected. You're gonna you never know. I mean, there's this guy I listen to, and he says I don't know to agree with him or not, but it makes sense like to like approach 25 women a day. And the reason why he says that it's not because of the women, it's for you to it's for you to be comfortable like talking to them, like regardless of they reject you or not, you just, because a lot of guys they don't know how to approach a woman, like they don't know what to say, and it's not easy all the time. So that's why he says it, like like it doesn't matter if they reject you, because rejection, it's an everyday thing, like even outside of just talking to a woman. But what I'm just saying, like, it comes with that, the rejection. Just you probably, like, if you like, let's say if you like approach like 100 women, maybe like 2 women might hear you out, and the rest may not want to hear you. But like 2 women, they'll like it's a lot, like, but it takes work. But what I'm saying, it's that that rejection comes with it. It's nothing. It's not separate. That's all I'm saying.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I was very good talk with girls. I wasn't, and I think it changed when I got older and got more comfortable with myself. Sometimes you don't want to seem too, needy or something like that. And I think with men, we can handle rejection a little bit better than women. We can have women say no to us.
Some men, I mean, there's men that don't. There's men that don't. But I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Because men, women, they don't take it as well. They used to, some women can get it, some women can't. And I guess some men can't take rejection because they get like, but I think the rest of us, it's called, it's like thing. We learn from our failures. We learn maybe that wasn't the right person, or maybe we didn't say the right thing. It's just about approach. Especially when dealing, could be like my man Saddam Rahim, like it could be somebody who's a WNBA player, or somebody who does other sport, or it could be like a female bodybuilder. It's all depending. We have a comment shout out to here to last man standing. It says WBB athletes need to learn to be nice to fans, since they are the ones that generally like and support the division, something that they are struggling and complaining about. Yeah, the thing is,
okay.
yeah, but some, like, again, some can be, it's again,
Just not all them. Yeah, not all them. Results may vary. That's all. That's I can say. Results may vary.
we got a man here, BC Royce. He's in the building. Says, I do art pro women's football games. Those girls are dead tired right after a game, but they turn on their smiles and are friendly towards the fans. Yeah. Whatever I said, that's depending on the woman and different experiences.
Yeah, I think it is. They are different. They are different athletes. I mean, they train differently than bodybuilders do. I mean, I guess it truly depends on how they train. They have to diet every day. They have to work on the routines. Need a good rest. All that.
Like a good example. Like a good example, WrestleMania this was last week. That these wrestlers were dealing like with a lot of crazy fans. Like CM Punk had to literally slap a phone out of a guy's hand because he kept messing with his wife AJ. So he could complete, because he's a wrestler. They be in that ring taking bumps every single night. So I have to take his side on that one.
Yeah, because remember, they are, most of the time they're on the road. They barely be home. Going home is like a vacation for them. They only home maybe a few days out of the week, maybe a few hours, where they're on the road. They're going to shows. They got to do pay-per-views. They got to do Raw, SmackDown, or whatever show that's in. They don't really get to enjoy their life but then also they many of them know how to treat and talk to people. They appreciate their fans. But wrestling, it's a different level when it comes to, like, there's quite a few wrestlers that got into bodybuilding, and they had to learn to bring on the personality. Like one guy, I remember Brian Cage, he was a bodybuilder a lot of time. Batista, China, she did bodybuilding for a little bit.
Oh yeah, shout out to Ivy Nile too for winning at Girl Power bodybuilding